Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's talk about Ready to Love, Make a Move. So it's going to be a recap of the episode. As usual, I'm going to be talking about the key things that I took from this episode and we're going to discuss it. And what I want you guys to please do for me is please hit the subscribe button. Please make sure you tap that bell for notification so you know every single time that I post. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I love you. And also, please make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below. I want us to be able to have another conversation about it. Let's keep the conversation going. A lot happened in this episode and I'm very keen to talk about it. Now, let's talk about Ashley and Donald. So Ashley basically let Donald go. Before that, Donald tried to assure her that he made a mistake and he would in the future, of course, always call her and make time for her and all of that. And Ashley was saying that she didn't want to repeat her previous experiences, and so she's not going to give him another opportunity. Now, here's the thing I feel about that. This man showed you text messages where he actually contacted you. You did not get it, right? I understand feeling like, he should have called, but he's just getting to know you. He may or may not know whether that is something that you require. So I feel like it's outlandish for you to cut him off because of just that. Now, did I really think that they potentially had enough of a connection? That was still to be determined. But you cutting someone off because of that is a madness, right? It's not like they've done it more than, let's say, for instance, after you told him, you expressed to him, next time, if you message me and I don't respond, then pick up the phone and call me, right? In all fairness to him, he could have been thinking, I just started getting to know this girl. I don't want to pick up the phone and call her so she doesn't feel like I'm doing too much, right? He's still feeling you out. So I think she was just doing too much. Personally, that is my opinion on that. Let me know what you guys think. I personally didn't think that the best decision would have been, okay, let me cut you off because you texted me and I didn't get it. What sort of madness is that? Anyways, let's move on to Venetia and her blind date. Now, Venetia had a really good time with her blind date, and I actually thought, you know what? I would love to see another date with this man. I don't like the way the show is doing it in such a way that you only see another person once. I think they need to do it a little bit put a ring on it where you can decide if you want to see that person multiple times, because you having them decide between their keeper and someone they went on one date with is definitely very difficult. And unless something drastic happens, most people may not want to get rid of their keeper. And so that's something that I feel like they need to really review as to whether or not they want to keep doing that in the show. Because what they will or most likely find is most people will keep their keeper, go on a date with one person, think it's great, but still keep their keeper, right? Because sometimes people tend to gravitate towards people, a little bit more comfort than what is new and what they can't place. Is generally human nature, right? That's the same reason why some people would stay in relationships that are not serving them for a lot longer than they should, because they're scared of starting afresh, exploring something different. They're a bit like, what if it doesn't work out? So those are some of the things that I'm I personally think that there should have been an opportunity to get to know these people a little bit more. That's my opinion on that. Now let's talk about Zadia's date with Ramon. Ramon is a good looking man. It looks like Zadia was actually interested in getting to know Ramon, right? But like I said, same things will apply. She ain't about to leave this man Cameron that she's been connecting with for someone she had one good date with. So of course, I feel like the premise of the show is not helping people sort of really explore connections. So they need to really figure that out, because that part of the whole thing is starting to irritate me. I will say that. Now let's talk about Ashley's date with Justin. This is the blind date that was chosen for her. She seemed to have fun. They laughed a lot. He seemed to like sort of match her energy a little bit. He seemed to be pretty much cool about her being the way Ashley is, which, as I said, she's over the top most times when she goes on dates. I personally feel like a better approach is to, yes, of course, let your fun personality show up. But I feel like she is always sort of leading the conversations quite a bit. And in my opinion, doing absolutely too much. But they seem to get a good vibe going. They laughed a lot. But then again, Ashley laughs on all of her dates. So I don't know if it's something special or Ashley's just being Ashley. So there is that as well. So now let's talk about Charisse and Keith. So Charisse and Keith, it seemed that they had a good first date, at least decent enough. He did open up about being in a previous relationship and also like what he took from that. And what it sounded like was like he took accountability for the way the relationship sort of ended, and his part to play in the relationship's demise. And the good thing about that is in relationships, you want to be with someone who actually knows how to take accountability and is not going to gaslight you instead of taking accountability for their wrongs, right? I feel like a lot of people don't really take accountability, and you tell someone, okay, this is what you did, this is how it made me feel, and they're still going to be like, well, but no, it's not about me. Let's focus on the topic at hand, this thing that I'm addressing with you, and then let's deal with it in that way, right? So I like the fact that he took accountability. Of course, he didn't go into specifics unless he did on the show, but it wasn't shown to us. Also sounds like he has a therapist and a life coach, which I think is always good. Well, one, it's good that he can afford those things. Two, it's good that he takes his mental health and disposition very seriously, and his, life path to be able to have those things and invest in those things, because it is an investment. And so I appreciated that. Would I want to see another date with them both? Yes, absolutely. Will we get that? I have no idea. Because Marie seems to be chasing after this lawyer, cool, calm, collected, cool as a cucumber dude everywhere, and basically leading the conversation. But if that's what she wants to do with her life, then good luck to her. Let's talk about Vern and Jabari. So they went on another date to a wine bar, and Venetia was talking to Jabari. Jabari seems to not be keen on the fact that she's dating other people. I get it. No one wants the person they are dating and interested in to be going on other dates. But the show you signed up for. Okay? So she's going to be having other dates. And also, she ain't your girl yet. So you need to dial it down a few notches and dial it back a few notches, because you're doing too much. In my opinion, I feel like Jabari is acting a little bit too jealous for my liking. You can be feeling all those emotions, right? You can say a little something, but it's feeling like a lot of their conversations sort of directs towards her talking or dealing with other people. And I don't think that's fair. I appreciated what Vern said and said, until we are exclusive, it's all fair game. So if you want to date other people, you go ahead and do that. And I feel like in dating, we really should do that, right? It's the same way when people back in the day wanted to find someone that to court, right? They bring a bunch of people, right? You meet these people, you spend time with these people before you then decide, oh, this is who I want to choose, right? It's not as easy as you then just not spending time with these people and say, no, I choose you. No, right? They give you the opportunity to hang out with these people, get to know these people. Of course, there's a chaperone there. Yes, absolutely. But you still get the opportunity to meet these people. You still get the opportunity to talk to these people, get to know these people a little bit, right? And so I feel like that is one of the things that is missing here. I feel like there isn't really, I guess he needs to understand that she needs to get the opportunity to connect with other people. And if ultimately she decides that it is Jabari I want, then yes, at least you know that out of everything, she's not settling for you. She chose you. Like, how is that hard to understand? So I think he needs to chill on that. I liked how Vern handled it. Vern was like, she redirected that conversation right back, and she told him, if you want to go and be dating other people, you do that. And I was absolutely here for it. Now let's talk about Cameron and Zadia. I like Cameron and Zadia together. I think it's nice to see Zadia smile quite a bit. And if I compare how Zadia was on her show to how she is on the show, she showed a little bit more of the fact that she's evolved a little bit. Also, the fact that she was there smiling and enjoying Cameron, it was really nice to see. They talked a little bit about like gender roles. She talked about the fact that she's a millennium traditionalist and she wants a man that would provide for her, and a man essentially that would say, your money is my money kind of thing. And I absolutely love that. And I love the fact that she said she's a millennium traditionalist, because I feel like I'm probably something like that as well. Where, I absolutely love being in a position where my man provides for me. I want the soft life. Don't get me wrong, I work very hard and, I have like multiple streams of income. But I do want my husband to be able to provide for me. I do want to be like his princess or his queen and just like enjoy that level of like just pampering. It's kind of part of my love language, honey. So I hear her on that. And it actually sounds like Cameron wants to do that. He's like, he wants to be able to provide that soft life for his woman. And I'm like, yeah, love to hear it. The truth of the matter is, in my experience, if a man really wants you, he will absolutely provide for you. Even if he doesn't have that much, whatever it is that he has, he will use that in some way to provide for you. So I really, really liked that. Now let's talk quickly, because I feel like I left that out, about the conversation between Charisse and Zadia. The conversation between Charisse and Zadia and the confessional before that shows that Charisse is unwilling to take accountability for her part, right? Zadia expressed what upset her, and it just feels like Charisse just wants to brush it under the rug, and then in her confessionals still be pointing the finger at Zadia. Charisse is a very combative person, right? And I feel like part of it is because she's on defense from being bullied in the past. And she just automatically feels like when she meets a woman whose predisposition comes across as strong, she feels like this woman could bully me, so let me bully her first. That's the vibe I get. This is in my opinion, right? I'm not saying it as a fact. I'm just saying this is what I'm seeing. So if you're seeing something different or you agree with me, let me know in the comment section, right? We're here to discuss these things, right? Because it comes across as deep down, right? It comes across as, because there was nothing Zadia did that came across as being a bully, but you called her a bully, you called her a mean girl. There was nothing that she did on this show that shows mean girl or bullying. So it's a very, very interesting choice of word that she used there, right? And so that shows there's more of a deeper issue that she is not necessarily hitting head on. So she needs some healing in relation to that area. Because Charisse can't lie to you. Zadia is looking like a saint next to you right now. And that's saying a lot of things, okay? So there was that. So now let's talk about Ashley and Kirsten. So they went on a mixology date. And of course, in Ashley's usual fashion, she was flirting heavy. Then she starts bringing up Zadia. And how, she was like, I heard how the date went with Zadia. I'm like, girl, why are you talking about Zadia on your date? You guys are all dating each other's men, right? So let's all, why you got to bring Zadia up on the date? So then she starts talking about pretty much wanting to be exclusive. And I'm thinking, This man don't know you from a can of paint. Why would you be bringing up that kind of conversation to him? That is overly extra, sis. So he's looking at her, trying to redirect her, like, let's focus on us. There's no reason to be bringing her up. And then she's like, she wants to be with someone who chooses her and wants to be with her. And I get it, sis. But I feel like your insecurities are showing, right? Because it feels like the fact that he was into Zadia, or thought Zadia was attractive, is enough for you to feel like, well, he ain't into me. Two things could be completely correct. He don't know you. He does not know Zadia. You could be immediately attracted to Zadia. He could have been immediately attracted to you too, but said nothing, right? So that's the thing, right? He doesn't know you. And also for some people, it's a slow burner, right? He might meet you today, might not be like fully head over heels, right? But starts talking to you, gets to know your personality and feels like, wow, she's really beautiful. She's really gorgeous. Like, I can't believe I didn't see her in that way, right? These things happen. And of course, don't get me wrong. I'll put my hand up and say, I understand feeling like you want someone to immediately see you and feel that. That's completely, you're fair. It's how you feel. And that's completely fair, right? But what I don't like is for you to then be coming across in that way towards him. And I'm just like, I was looking at it and I was like, sis, your slip is showing. Like, your insecurities are showing. You're not ready to love. I hate to say it, but I don't think you're ready to love. I think you need some healing when it comes to feeling like you're being chosen, feeling like you're a second option. I feel like she needs some healing when it comes to that aspect. I feel like she needs some healing in the way she needs to communicate what she needs. Because the way she communicated it versus what she later said came across as two different things. So it's like, sis, maybe you should really think about what you want to say and then communicate it properly. So I did not like that date at all. I didn't. So it was now the time for people to choose their keepers. Cameron is staying, which I'm happy about. I feel like they're absolutely very, very cute, and they should. Zadia definitely did right by choosing him, I think. Vern chose Jabari. I will know about that. No, but okay, Vern. And then Maurice and Charisse, we're going to find out next week. Also, Ashley and Kirsten, we're going to find out next week. But what I did notice about Ashley and Kirsten was at the end of the episode, right? They showed them having a bit of a combative situation, right? So she brought up this whole wanting her man to be all in her and all of that. And then he is trying to explain. And then she's like, well, let me talk, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is escalating. And I feel like it did not have to go there. Ashley does not have a handle on her emotions. And I don't think this process is for her. I don't think she's ready to love yet. And that's absolutely okay, baby. You just need a little bit of healing. You need a little bit more rest. You need a little bit extra here and there. And then you'd be ready. But the way you're behaving on the show is exposing a lot of insecurities. And I hope she's one of those people that can sit back, watch herself, take accountability, and then work on healing herself. Because sometimes, like, when you've been hurt a lot, you may not know that you're carrying the hurt and you're projecting it, and it's coming through in your conversations, in your dates with people who ain't got ish to do with nothing, right? They're just meeting you, right? They don't want you to bring them into all of the traumatic experiences that you've experienced. They want to get to know you in stages, right? So they don't want your slip or, for you to be projecting onto them. They don't want that energy, right? Who would? Let's be honest. if you see that energy on date one and choose to continue to stay there, then we need to talk about what is it about you that makes you want to stay in a relationship where there is a clear red flag. Okay? So either way, Ashley, baby, it's not looking good. And I like Ashley. I just think she needs a little bit more work and she'll be good to go. That's all I think. But anyways, that's all I think from this episode. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought of this episode. Please don't forget to give this a thumbs up. So give it a like this video, please. It helps the algorithm. It is free. Please subscribe. Your girl is trying to hit that 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And you guys are helping me out. We're on like 900 and something. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, just please keep subscribing. Please keep engaging with the content. And I will see you guys later. Thank you. Bye.